But yeah, we thought we would just have fun and talk about Ease's impact on just the general JRPG and action RPG scene and how it's grown over time.
I was planning on not having fun personally. I was going to be very serious and,
I want this to be as excruciating as possible.
I would prefer, I just prefer if it's a little bit unpleasant. Okay. Because then I have the rest of my day to look forward to. And it's,
Just make me as slightly uncomfortable. Slightly uncomfortable. But, I'm not sure if we need to speak again after this.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the JRPG Pursuit, your JRPG podcast for all things JRPGs. I'm Branden.
I'm Abdallah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are just absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. Want to especially thank our members, the channel members who do so much to support us. Consider supporting us if you aren't. But just tuning in is more than enough, and we really appreciate you. So thank you so much. This week, we are going to be talking about one of my personal favorite video game series of all time. And I think that sentiment is shared among us to an extent, at least. And that is the Ys series. And in order to help us get to the bottom of this series, plumb the depths of Falcom's classic action RPG.
I can't take you serious like that.
You had me there for a little bit. And then
I was on a roll. You guys ruined it.
Well, you put too much cheese into that one. All right.
I'm doing a fine grated Parmesan over it. Okay, come on. But we have a special guest with us to help us talk about Ys today, and that is Coury from My Life in Gaming. Coury, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk about one of my favorite series, ongoing series of all time as well.
So tell us about yourself and your channel. I'm sure most of our audience is familiar with you, but just in case, fill us in.
Sure. I am one half of the creative team that makes a YouTube channel called My Life in Gaming. It's mainly about video game technology and modern displays, but we get into a lot of other stuff. We've gotten into a lot of other stuff in the 12 years that we've been doing it, almost 13. But most people know us because we talk about, taking old games and making them look good on new TVs. I think a lot about the fact that we were in the right place at the right time when we made a video on that before it had really hit the mainstream. So I think that in a lot of ways, our channel was people's gateway into, thinking about or caring about that kind of stuff. And, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's great to have you. We really appreciate you taking the time. So, Ys, tell us a little bit about your history, your background with the Ys series.
Sure. My first Ys game was Wise on the Sega Master System. I was a Sega kid from very early on, and my first exposure to Japanese RPG was Phantasy Star, a game that changed my life. And at that point, I was ready and willing to buy up every single RPG that I could get my hands on that system, which was basically, after Phantasy Star was Miracle Warriors, and then Wise. I say Wise because on the cartridge it's spelled Y''S, which is, as we know now, is not correct.
Incorrect, yeah.
But at the time, and when I was, 11 years old, of course I was going to say, oh, that's what it is,
Wise.
right?
Yeah. It was a big debate back then.
And back then, that's when Adol was named Aaron in that version.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it's just
That's funny.
That first Ys game is very, very short, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and which I would never see the finale to until Ys Book 1 and 2 came out on the Wii Virtual Console.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you were there at the beginning, like you were.
Yeah, very early on. I mean, was that the first U.S. release for the series? It may have been.
Let's see.
I think so.
There was a TurboGrafx.
The TurboGrafx one came out in '89, but I don't know. Was that the U.S. or the Japanese release?
I don't know if
Yeah, I mean, looking at digital MLS, I assume these things are in release order.
that's what
Well,
I'm
maybe
assuming
not.
tbecause they have the Master System version first.
Yeah,
That's true.
The TurboGrafx CD version is third.
right.
Well, because there was a re-release of the Master System version, so yeah, it very well might have been the absolute
Master
first
System.
release in America. So that's very early on. Yeah, I feel like a poser because like I've always been aware of the E series, but and I also called it Wise because why wouldn't you? You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't actually sit down and play through them all until like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Like I just binged through the whole series, and I was like, oh, I could have been playing these games all this time. Like,
And you know what? Like it's actually a good series to binge that way because
Yeah.
and not until about 7, they are all like under 15 hours.
oh yeah,
Like mostly under 10,
Yeah.
which is pretty nice, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
nice little
you
bite-sized
don't get the
experience.
bloat that you get with modern game design, like
Yeah.
And just JRPGs in general. So
and
Yeah.
JRPGs
Oh, yeah.
in
Just
general.
so much
yes.
dialogue.
Yeah,
You know, it's, and I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but I mean, starting around 7 and 8, and especially 8, you know, like you can see that Trails influence kind of
Yeah.
go into it, where they,
Yeah.
you know, they want to have these fully fleshed out characters who just have so much to say that, you know, it can sometimes ruin the pacing of it, especially if you're, you know, like a longtime fan of the series. It's kind of like, all right, let's get into it.
let's do
Yeah.
the fighting again. Can we do some more of the
Yes.
fighting, please? Yeah. I definitely heard people complain about that in when East 10 came out. Like,
Yes.
oh, it takes like 45 minutes before you like start fighting anything.
Yeah.
I know.
And especially in a series that is really about the fast action is like, you know, that's what it's known for. is
Yeah.
this fast action, you know, taking that time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it has evolved quite a bit over the years. I figure, you know, maybe it makes sense to kind of go back to the beginning and talk through as best as we can with our experience, you know, the E series and like the innovations that it kind of brought to the table. Like we were chatting a little bit before we started the show about like, you know, East on the TurboGrafx CD, like it was doing stuff in the late 80s that
Yeah.
I wouldn't personally experience until the late 90s in games, right? Like voice acting and CD quality music. Like it just, I've heard some of the tracks from the original release of East on TurboGrafx, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's like,
Falcom was always on full cylinders, man. Their music has always been great. The sound team is incredible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There.
Yeah.
you get that butt rock going.
Yeah, that first one, the original version, the music was done by Yuzo Koshiro.
Oh
Yeah. Which, by the way, he has said publicly that he would love to come back and do more music for East. So, Falcom,
yeah.
would you please
Yeah.
Come on.
bring him back?
Yeah, just, you know, he can just do some tracks for it, you know?
Yeah, let him do a few at least, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's interesting because like it is like literally I think the oldest running action RPG out there. Like I can't
Yeah, as, in terms of consistent releases,
consistent release, like it's been going since, you know, around
since
like,
the 80s,
the late
mid
80s. Until now, to this day. And so like it's so interesting to see like the longevity. Like Falcom's just always been very good at that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, would somebody be able to argue that there's another series that is similar enough that's been as long running? I mean, if you want to get into the is Zelda an action RPG debate,
No.
you could say Zelda is there as well, but I, you know, personally don't want to open that can of worms.
Yeah.
So,
You don't gain
no,
levels in Zelda. Although-
right. You don't gain levels except in Zelda
No.
2. But that doesn't count even to the
That's
fans.
an odd duck.
So.
yeah, I can't think of as long of running series other than maybe Tales, but that definitely didn't start. When
Yeah,
East
that
did.
started in the Super Famicom era, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a mainstay for a long time, and it's, you know, despite being this long running series, it's only had 10 main entries, right? Like,
Yeah.
and there haven't been a ton of like spin-off games. East Origin, I guess, so 11. They've had 11 games.
Yeah,
East
East
versus
Origin.
Trails.
East versus Trails.
East versus Trails, I guess.
There's
would be a
also
spin-off.
Ease Strategy,
Yes.
Oh, really?
That's
Okay,
true.
what's that?
which is like a real odd-looking DS game. But if you do want to, if anybody out
It's like
there
a real-time strategy.
wants to check that out, something that I did not know, I bought the Japanese version just so I could have it, but it got a European release is in English.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
I'll have to look for that.
I might
I
have to
literally,
pick that
so this
up.
is breaking news for me. I've literally never heard of this game. Okay. Well, that's,
Yeah.
that's
I
gonna
mean,
go on the
it's
list.
it's real weird looking. It's I don't know. Like they try to draw everybody like a little bit more realistic in it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the screenshots.
I'm gonna look that. I'm gonna have to look.
It
that
looks
up.
like old timey civilization or something like.
Yeah.
Like that's
On the
very
DS? Why?
Yeah.
'Cause it's a real time strategy, right? Like that's what I think I know.
Yeah,
about,
real
at
time
least.
strategy. Oh, geez.
So it's not even like a tactical like strategy like you think of like with Final Fantasy tactics or anything like that. It's an actual
That
like.
would make sense for ease, right? Like you want a little bit more action in it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, they would go down that avenue. But the DS is an interesting choice. But granted, there was a lot of like tactical like entries on the DS for a lot of different series, like Final Fantasy 12 and Blue Dragon and Valkyrie.
That whole
and
era,
both.
like PSP, DS, there are a lot of
Yeah.
tactics games.
It was very popular during that
Yeah.
era.
Yeah. There's like the Wild Arms.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is
Yeah,
supposedly like
XF,
very, very
whatever.
good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. There's the Suikoden one that was also.
Yeah. Say like Tier
Yep.
Crease. No, Tier Crease was the remake. Or
That was a
kinda like
DS. That was a DS game that kind of
right.
ended the series, sort of. But yeah, there was a Suikoden Tactics on PS2.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like interesting that they went that route. I'm gonna have to get it. Like, I don't need to be spending money right now, Coury, but now.
You know of its existence, so
Yeah, now I know about
Got
it,
it.
so I have to act.
It's just one of those odd ones out that I think that people forget even exists or don't know it exists.
Never
because
heard of it. Yeah,
it's just
that's
never came
crazy.
out here.
Okay, well, interesting.
And it's interesting
But-
to think about, like, even from like the evolution of the battle system in itself, like how the action combat has changed over the years.
yeah, they did the bump stuff.
The bump
right, early on.
for two
How do
for
you-
the first two, right?
Yeah.
How do you guys love the bump? How do you guys love it?
I played. I didn't hate the bump. I thought I'd hate the bump. I didn't hate it.
No.
It's definitely weird. It feels old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never played a game with the bump back in the day, but like it does feel like this is a developer trying to solve a problem and coming up with kind of an inelegant solution to it, but like just running with it, just full on.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Running
yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
The idea being that you have to like run into enemies from an angle, right? Like you don't want to run into
like
them
slightly
head on.
below.
Slightly below and up, like angled up, and then you won't
Yeah.
take damage
or
or
to
something.
the side a little bit when you're going horizontal or
Yeah.
vertical. Yeah.
So it's
Which is-
it's a weird system. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but I'm glad that it was just those first two, and then they were like, let's
Evolved from there.
we have buttons. There's buttons on this controller. We
Yeah.
we can make him swing the sword. That's
And
crazy.
the crazy thing about that, like the first two games, is that it's been remade so many times.
Yeah.
And if you want to play that first game and be able to swing your sword, then on the DS there's the
DS.
like
Book 1 and
Legacy
2.
of Ease Book 1 and 2, which it does have a button press for
Yeah.
attacking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's true.
PC version I think it's based on the PSP remake, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I played.
Which I think was based on the PS2 version,
One
which
of
was
the
based on the X68000 version.
Whole family
which was
tree.
based on-
That is the complicated
On the PC
like,
80
the complicated world of East remakes and remasters
Right.
and or
they've only
ports
made
of
10 10 mainline entries in the series, but they've remade all the games 5 million
Well,
times.
yeah.
So
I mean, I
like a
do
rabbit
feel
hole.
like that for those first two games might be the most remade games of all time.
that's,
They got to
yeah.
if
It's
it's
gotta
not,
be.
then they are so close.
yeah.
No, I can't think of any other game that has been remade as many times. Like off the
Just
top of my
scrolling through digital MLS, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of versions of those two games.
I mean,
Man.
What do you guys think is the definitive way to play it for those who haven't played those yet?
I can really only argue for the way that I played it because I haven't played it any other way. So I don't know, Coury, do you have an opinion on that?
I would say probably the definitive way to play is probably the PC version, which is a port of the PSP version.
Yeah.
They like
how I
redrew
played
like
it.
some of the art and like upscaled it pretty nicely because
Yeah.
I think the XC did that port in house, and much like they did with 7. But if not, I would say that the TurboGrafx 16 version is a great way to play it. Just because you kind of get that original experience, you get that voice acting, because at the time when that was made, they put a bunch of money into it. They had some good voice actors, and it just has it has aged immaculately, I think.
Yeah. It looks great still too.
Yeah.
On the TurboGrafx. So if you're playing it, any sort of well upscaled way, it's going to look great on your screen.
Yeah. And I think that when it came out, that is the game that everybody pointed at and said, this is what CD technology is going to do for the future of video games.
Yeah.
That's true.
Coury, have you had a chance to try it on the TurboGrafx Mini?
I played a little bit of it when I was when I
Testing
I
it
got
out.
the system. Like,
How does that look like in terms of being, HDMI out, like upscaled to a?
yeah, it's 720p, and it looks pretty good. M2 handles it, and
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
yeah, and as far as I remember, I think there might be there's a bunch of different screen modes and everything. It's just it's a great way to play it, except for I think the TurboGrafx Mini and the PC Engine Mini are really expensive now.
Yeah, they are very expensive.
I was on the fence about pre-ordering one, and then I didn't do it. Now I'm like, well, maybe I should have done it. That's why I impulse buy everything, so that I don't end up in this situation.
Yeah, you ultimately save money.
Right.
Yeah,
When you
exactly.
think about it.
That's what I tell my wife, and she's like, I'm leaving you, like,
How that works.
Emily loves to hear that.
she's very responsible with her money, and we are not as much.
I can't remember. Does the TurboGrafx Mini have any lag issues? Because I know the SNES Mini and the Sega Mini kind of the lag was a little bit egregious to me.
Yeah, I'm sure that it does. I only played the games on that system when we did a video on it years ago.
Yeah.
And then
I can't remember.
it goes back in the box and goes on top
shelf,
of these
yeah.
shelves up here, and has not been opened since. Because there's no reason for me to play it like that.
Exactly.
Right.
You're not the market for it because you have
Right.
everything already set up. It's easy access for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the bump system, what did they? I'm trying to remember.
They made it
So-
side
Really
scrolling.
integrated.
Yeah, East 3 went side view, went Zelda
Side
2.
view, yeah.
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 Um,
Kind of like a platform.
which that seemed to be the thing that people were doing with
Yeah.
sequels back then, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Between that and Zelda and Castlevania and stuff, I think it's really
Castlevania 2, yeah.
it's just really interesting to think back that it was pretty common for developers to say, all right, we're going to make a sequel to our successful game. Let's totally change it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the playbook hadn't been written yet, right?
Right.
This was the beginning, so.
And they just wanted to, even though people loved certain gameplay styles, they just said, oh, let's challenge ourselves and try to do it completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And for ease, I think it didn't go super well because, they went back to the bump system for both versions of 4 after that.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there were 2 versions of 4. Because our audience
There were,
may not know
yeah.
this.
Yeah. But yeah, in East 3, I've never played the original version, any of the original versions of East 3. I have it, it's within arm's reach, right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's just extremely challenging. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that tough.
No.
I think that the Genesis version is considered to be the best out
Okay.
of those initial ones. It's interesting because the TurboGrafx 16 version, after they put all this money into the voice acting in book 1 and 2, then they with 3 they just kind of half-assed the whole thing.
They ran on the funds.
They blew their budget on the 1
Yeah.
and 2.
And just right out of the gate, the voice acting is like telling the wrong story, like over the intro.
Oh my god!
And it's that version. I just think also the backgrounds are the backgrounds update very slowly when it's scrolling, so it looks very choppy. And the soundtrack, while good, I just think really takes advantage of the Genesis's sound chip and sounds great on that system.
Yeah, there's something about a
great.
good Genesis soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's like, I love Super Nintendo, and I was always a Super Nintendo. I had both, but I was like primarily a Super Nintendo kid. But like, I feel way more nostalgic connection to the Sega Genesis sound chip in a lot of ways, just because it's like so specific to that.
Yes.
Like, it's much easier to conjure those memories listening to that music.
It's depending on what the composer is using, because later on,
sure, they can be awful.
They use this as like this sound studio called Gems to make like a lot of the later soundtracks on the system, and it was not very good for creativity. I don't think that's where when a lot of people say that the Genesis sound trip kind of sounds like farts. It like comes from that.
I mean, we all can't be Bubsy, so
Oh yeah, God bless Bubsy. But one thing I want to just point out is the box art for Ys 3 on Genesis. Oh my God, that is beautiful. That is a work of art. Like I'm being sarcastic, but also it is really good. Like, but it is really cheesy. And I'm gonna try to remember to put this up on the screen right now, so those of you watching can see it. But if
it
not,
is the most
give
like
it a
Genesis.
Google.
It is the most Genesis.
It's the most.
style,
It feels like 80s like fantasy. I don't know, like, what's his name that was on the cover of Wizards and Warriors or whatever. Fabio or whatever. Like that barbarian guy with the long hair. I don't think Adol's ever had long hair. He's got just like flowing hair.
It's like they got the guy who did Golden Axe to do this one.
Yeah. But it's it's a giant illustration, which is nice.
Kind
of feels like a Mega Drive game, like a Japanese Mega Drive game, where they really have this full box art that just takes up the entire thing. It doesn't have any black grid around it or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a work of art. I didn't know it looked like that. I got to track that down.
I kind of want it. I wonder how much it goes for right now.
It's I don't know what it goes for now, but I know that I paid $90 for it, I think, in 2019.
Okay, so it's probably at least $200 now.
It's $150. It's $150 complete right now.
Okay.
So it has gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
It's the worst, Emily.
It's not great.
It's so much.
I like
optimistic.
I like that's where Emily comes in going like, that's not that bad.
No, that's fine. Go ahead. Do that.
It could be worse. It could
certainly be worse. Yeah. Oh man.
And you guys have played the Ilfa Fagana, which is based off of Ys 3, right?
Yes.
On which systems?
I played it
a couple times.
Yeah, I played it on PC, which again I think was based on the PSP.
The PSP version.
Yeah.
Port that XC
Well, the PSP version was based on that version.
Other way around,
and then it got localized. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Falcom is like a PC company back then.
They started
primarily.
Mm-hmm.
With the PC-88 and stuff like that. So
right, yeah.
And that's why the series had a big lull of console releases, because there was just nothing coming out on consoles at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the one that was just released this year, right? Was
it
early
in
this
January.
Year?
Yeah.
They had the Switch version of it.
On the Switch and PS5.
And PS5.
Port, which I don't.
Probably a new PC version too.
Is it the same game? Like, I was confused about this in the lead up. Like, what's different about this release compared to the PC or PSP?
I think they've upscaled
versions? Do we
it.
know? Did they upscale it as all?
So no, they redrew some of the character artwork.
Okay.
Like the character, like the full screen portraits and stuff.
There's more voice acting too, right? Or I think Abdallah spoke more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Unfortunately,
They
although
had
you
to-
can
they
you
have
can
to
turn
add
it
that.
off. You can turn that off.
So Corey,
as a
you'll
specific
find,
option.
and we'll get into this more in the future. You'll find that we're on opposite ends of this argument. I feel like that they've been walking the line of Adal being a silent protagonist or not for a long time. I wish they'd go fully over to the he's just a character, let him talk. And I know that the other
okay.
side is like, shut him up, he shouldn't be talking. So we can get into that in a bit.
Yeah.
But
That's where the fun
they're walking
begins.
the line, and I think that makes nobody happy. So I feel like they just need to pick a side and fall
Choose a
down
side.
hard on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have not played the new release of it yet. I feel like when I do eventually get
Yeah.
around to replaying the East games, that's the one I'll go with. But
Mhm.
so I don't have any firsthand experience with it.
Oh, so with Oath.
With the remake, the recent
Okay.
re-release.
The
The
recent
recent.
version.
Oh,
of it.
okay, but you
Yeah.
you played a version of Oath
Yeah.
and Felghana.
The PSP/PC
the
version.
PC version.
Yeah.
In many ways, I would say that Oath and Felghana is a perfect entry point for people who are interested in the series. It's not
Agreed.
too long, and you kind of get a gist of like what the series is about
Yeah.
from that.
Mhm.
And it's just a really, really tight game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no fat in there.
Yeah.
And the most recent, I guess, remake of it, they have a lot of different difficulty options because
Yeah.
they can be quite difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
Originally.
Right.
There's
That's-
something about that particular style, the Oath and Felghana style, the East Origin. One of the releases of East 6 was kind of in that 2D sprites on the 3D backgrounds sort of style, right? That I just really like. That to me feels like peak East action
Yeah.
RPG-ness.
Yeah.
Like East Origin is possibly my favorite or second favorite in the series, just because of how good it feels to play. Right? Like it's fast and everything feels consequential and heavy, and like heavy in a good way, like weighty, like
Yeah.
when you
There's a nice
attack.
flow to it. Yeah.
It's it's very
Yeah.
But and it's like button mashy at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's button mashy in like an intellectual way. Like you can't, like you feel like you're just going nuts, but like you actually have to think, you actually have to strategize
React,
and
yeah.
move around and react. Yeah.
And from
So-
those style of games, when because they redefine the series like many times, but when it was like with like Oath and Felghana, Ease Origin, and Ease 6, that they really just figured out like what they wanted the series to feel like. And even though perspectives have changed, like in terms of like, where the camera is, it still maintains that button mashy, but also like, you gotta plan it out.
Swift.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gameplay.
Kind of like a
Thoughtful
little
button masher. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little twitchy.
Yeah.
You got to be fast. You got to be, keep you on your toes with a lot of those games. And yeah, they can be very tough because of that, which is really nice in seeing that in like those games though. So I really enjoyed that part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a strange series to play through chronologically if you're playing like the most recent release of each of the chronological games, because the style of presentation and the gameplay shifts so much throughout that. Like you play East 1 and 2, you're bumping. You play Oath and Felghana, you're doing that 3D background, 2D sprite kind of feel. And then 4, you're jumping into a fully 3D thing. 5, if you play 5, you're back on the Super Famicom, or maybe the PS2 if you have that version. But and then you get up to 8 and it's like a completely different feel, while still maintaining, like you said, that sort of sensibility,
Identity.
right? Like
Yeah.
like thoughtful, button mashy, action oriented, fast paced sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's having done that, having played the series for the first time a few years ago, like in quick succession, right? Like I didn't take a break. I just played them all. It was really interesting to see like how drastically different these games feel, while at the same time still managing to feel like a cohesive whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like for the audience in general, like for those who might not know East as well, like just a kind of understanding of how these games work is that they're nonlinear. Like it's kind of like they all take place in a certain chapter within Adal's life. And it could be anywhere during that. So like it's never going to be chronological in release order, at least.
There's different
You can-
ages and everything.
You can play it in a sort of chronological order based off of what you know of each game, and then play through that. But the
we
release
haven't
order
seen all the
is
pieces
not.
yet.
No,
Yes,
exactly.
So they could
could
always, go
stick
back. Like 10, he was like 19 or something, right? Like really
10,
young.
10 takes place right after East 2. Like they just left the island, or just left East, basically.
Which is wild.
So it's all over the place.
And like I said, that 3 is a good entry point, but I meant that in that, like, the gameplay kind of gives you an idea what the gameplay is like. But I think the key is that you can play any of these games in any order you want, except for don't play 2 first.
Yeah.
Or don't play
that's true.
don't play Origin first. I think that if you're gonna, you can play like you should play like 1, 2, and then Origin, because those are connected in the way that's they take place in that same area.
Yeah.
But then
Origin
after
is-
that, you can go any direction you want.
Origin
Or should
story
you
is
could go in
written
first, but I think you wouldn't understand maybe some of that.
Yeah, the way that
yeah.
Origin story is written, it rewards you for coming in with the knowledge you get from 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The way it's a really interesting how they handled the story in that game. Like I thought, I was like, this is not going to be that exciting. It all takes place in this tower. Like how interesting can that be? But they really do manage to tell a really intriguing story in that setting. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you have to play through it 3 times to get
you do.
with different
It's
characters.
short though.
Yes. Yeah.
They are short.
Each run's short.
Each one's short. Is there like a code or something where you can play the true route first? You get.
I
want to say there was, or maybe there was some particular release that unlocked all the characters at once instead of having to play the first 2. I don't know. I
I don't know.
could
I have
fact
it on the
check that, but-
PS4 and Switch. I don't remember that being a thing.
No, it's not on those for sure. Yeah, but it's really worth playing. Just play 1 and 2 first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my first entry was Memories of Salsetta,
Oh, okay.
which was I really liked it because it focused more on like map kind of building,
Oh yeah.
trying to fill out the world. So
Yeah,
it was more explorative in some sense.
There's something very satisfying about like the fog of war type map where you fill it in, and that whole game is based around doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my, me in Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's like, oh, I got to find my way into the corner of this room so that I can fill in that section of the map. I'm not leaving until I figure this out.
Yeah. But so what was your impression of the series with that? Were you just like, this feels good right off the bat, or?
Yeah, I really thought the combat was just so fluid. And so that's why I really liked it. And then the whole map making thing was kind of tickling my brain. Like, okay, I get to explore all the different areas and kind of see what's going on. Because I had an idea of like who Adol was, but I didn't really know too much about the series at the time. So it was kind of cool, learning little bits and pieces along the way.
And you
about
can
him and amnesia and all that.
Exactly. You are finding out about him as he's finding out about himself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of an unusual one in some ways, because like Dogi, for example, he's not in 4, right? He's completely absent from 4, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not there.
At least, in the official version, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. Should we explain for people?
Yeah, let's talk about that briefly, because it is
going on with
unusual.
lore?
It's interesting.
So Falcom did not develop Ys for themselves. There's 2 different versions. There's a Super Nintendo version called Mask of the Sun, and a TurboGrafx or PC Engine CD version called Dawn of Ys. And they both take place in the same region, the Salsetta Forest, which is, I guess even backing up a little bit further, the whole idea of the world that Ys takes place in is kind of like an alternate reality of our own. It's like Europe, and they're all like different regions that are similar to like our own world, except for
Very similarly named.
very similarly named, but just
Little
enough to make it seem like something different, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what Salsetta is supposed to be like. Maybe it's like Germany or something like that. I don't know what it makes like sense of in terms of our world.
Location, yeah.
But I mean, to give an example, Ys 5 takes place in what the game equivalent of Africa, but in that game it's called Afroka.
Afroka. Yep.
And I don't know, like the first game takes place like in Asteria, which I think is like France.
It was like a French, like a real world France mythological island, right? Like it was a lost continent or something.
I don't know about that one, but
Almost like Expedition 33.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, to explain that a little bit. But so the TurboGrafx 16 version or PC Engine version and the Super NES version are different, but I think they both use the same, like the Mask of the Sun idea. I have not finished either one of those, and I probably should. But eventually, Falcom decided to do it themselves, and on the Vita, and that's when they did Memories of Celceta, which is kind of interesting because the whole game takes place around like Abdallah losing his memory, and so that can kind of make these other versions of it like, like hazy what ifs in a way, like before now we're finding out the truth. Like like maybe he thought this is how things went previously, but now we're going to find out the real truth.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear like how they thought about it as they were developing it. Like, did they have a version that they considered to be the canon version, or are they approaching it as like,
both are wrong?
Alternate,
both are right. Like,
both are wrong.
Memories is the canon version.
Well, it is absolutely for sure. Now it is definitely the canon version. Now was unrelated to the story, but was the Memories of Celceta, was that on the East 7 engine? Like, did 7 come first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 7 was on the PSP and Celceta was on the Vita.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes.
So they used that engine just for those 2 games, right? I think they moved on to. And
that's the first time where you're controlling more than one character.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
It introduces the party system that stays around. I mean, it's still being used today, but with 10, you only have one other character, which I vastly prefer. I think that I like the party system in 7, Celceta, 9, 8, and 9, but I would find myself like letting a lot of the characters just fall to the wayside.
Yeah.
In terms of like using them, I would just stick with basically the first 3 that I pick up, and that was it. That's
my struggle in every role-playing game, honestly. Like, I get my party of characters, and once it's filled out, if I get more party members, it's like, sorry guys, you're on the bench. These are the people I know.
It's like you want to hear what they have to say.
I'm glad they're there. They contribute to the story, but like, I'm not switching this up. I know how to play now. I'm not going to learn how to play again.
Especially if they don't like level up those characters with you. It's like
that's
archaic.
I'm glad that's kind of a thing of the past. Like
I do want to mention, though, in terms of people that are interested in playing these other versions of 4, the TurboGrafx, the PC Engine CD version, has a fantastic fan translation done by several people, but it's the first example that I can think of that the fans re-recorded like all the voice acting.
Also. Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
So
that doesn't happen all that often in fan translations. That's
rare.
cool.
Yeah, and I mean, in doing it back, I don't know, at least like over 10 years ago for sure,
which is wild.
Yeah. It doesn't sound the greatest, but it's
sure. Yeah.
There's just such a dedicated fan base I've discovered with Ease, and long standing because of, I guess, how long the series has been going. But it's always cool to see, these fan projects come together.
It's cool to see, the fans like having done these translations, because a lot of them are now in charge of the like official translations.
Yeah.
And what I think is pretty cool is that when they were doing these fan translations, they came up with like names for things, and those names are still being used. For instance, I'm playing Ys 5 on Super Famicom, and it has a fan translation, and it's done by those same people. So you get these names and items that are named correctly with how they'll be named or used in the rest of the series and all other games. So it's just consistent in that way.
Yeah, thinking about like the East and Trails, just the Falcom fan base, like this is a company, and obviously the companies they work with, like NIS America and Xseed, and companies that have worked with them on these games. Like, they are one of, if not the most open companies to like working with the fans and like understanding the right kind of way to have a relationship with their fan base. Like, they see the dedication of the fans, and they're like, instead, maybe we send them a cease and desist. They don't do that. Like, they're not Nintendo or
They embrace them.
Yeah,
they embrace it.
especially
Exactly.
It's like with Geofront and the Trails series. So like they just brought them in. They're like, we're gonna work with you and like use this translation for the new versions of these games. So, like, that's crazy.
And that's very much what Xseed did. Ys Origin uses the fan translation that was done by those same people years before. Because that was the first time I played Origin. Was when that fan translation released. I found the version online and and modded or hacked it or whatever, so you put that English translation in it, and that's all being used. And the same thing happened with 6, like that. It just, I don't know, it got that was not a fan translation. I think that there's a PS2 version, and I think that certain names are maybe incorrect in the PS2 version. It was fixed for the PC version.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like very, I don't know. It makes you feel good to be a fan. Yeah. Just knowing that the company, the companies involved appreciate you. Yeah. And like are supportive, just like we're supporting them. It's like a mutual relationship. And that's nice. That's just nice, guys.
And especially like with a lore heavy series like that, when it changes, hands between like publishers or localizers, you have no idea what's going to get carried over. And it's nice to have like this kind of, like a key for everything, right? Which is like, here's what we're going to call this stuff. Because I think I was worried about when NIS took over from Xseed, and the same thing happened with Trails. And now I find myself kind of worried about it with Gung Ho handling.
I think justifiably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be consistent, especially with this Trails coming out, because it's going to be a lot of people's entry point.
The foundation.
You want them to get the idea of like, what these things are called, so they're not confused later on when they eventually play these other games.
Yeah. Insert Branden rant.
I've ranted about it. I've said my piece on it. It's public, but I'm hoping that they listen to the community, right? Yeah. Like, I don't think Gung Ho's ever had to deal with a community that is as involved with the franchise as the Trails community is. NIS America, I think, has already gotten the message, right? They're fully on board. So I'm not worried about them. It's just that, we'll see. Hopefully NIS America, hopefully Gung Ho doesn't take over everything and ruin it. We'll see.
Yeah. Is there been any information out there about like why is Gung Ho doing it? And NIS didn't want to do it?
There's rumors. I've heard that the president of Falcom was like friends with the president of Gung Ho or something, and maybe that contributed. But that's rumors. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
And we won't know until it's in our hands, right?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it looks like
I'm
they're
cautiously
already
optimistic.
And it looks like they're already kind of like rolling things back a little bit in terms of like
corrected the
name
website.
Changes.
Yeah.
They're making some corrections, so that's good.
So,
but back to Ys, which
that was a mild tangent. I just want to say, as far as tangents on the show goes, that was a pretty mild tangent.
Related.
Yeah,
it was very
related.
Casual. Exactly. Our tangents can get really
out there. That's true.
Off the hook for sure. But anyway, back to Ys. Yes.
Curious, would you guys say 7 was kind of the shift towards modern Ys as we know it? Because it is a little bit different, right, compared to the prior games. In terms of like direction and the story,
it was the first step towards it. I think Ys 8 was the culmination of now we're in the modern era of Ys, but 7 was definitely the first big step in that direction, I think.
Yeah, especially with the party system, but also that is significantly longer than anything that came before. Yeah, very story heavy.
Yeah,
like
it was the
like
first one that
it all gets like tortured like thrown into like a battle arena. You know, it's just the first time you've seen him like really get beaten down.
Yeah.
He's like getting whipped in front of everybody or something.
Yeah. Seven was interesting. It's actually like lower on my list, honestly, of my favorites.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the lowest, but it's definitely down pretty low. I don't know why. I don't. Maybe at the time I just wasn't ready for the party system because I
Maybe
know
you're
I really
burned
didn't
out.
want to. Yeah, like I didn't really want to like. Maybe I was burnt out too. I don't know. Because that was 8 games
Because
in
you
at that
played,
point.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. How did you feel about it?
I haven't played 7 yet. I have it on the PSP, waiting to be played. So someday I'll finally.
I've
get
only
to
played it once, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it
That's-
was pretty good. And for me, that was so when Xseed kind of brought Ys back to the West. That was the first one because they released Ys 7, and then they released the Oath and Felghana, and then Chronicles 1 and 2. So they both had those big boxes, and they had like the spines. If you put them all together, it has
They-
like
yeah.
fills out
They
like
line up
the
and
Ys
make
logo.
up Ys. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was the series coming back to the U.S. Since Konami did the version of 6 for the PS2, and I don't think that sold too hot. And then so it was nice to see that series come back, and I was very excited about it because I hadn't really played any of them. I hadn't even played 6, so I hadn't played anything, I guess, since the Master System game in the U.S. Because I didn't play the Wanderers from Ys or anything like that when they came out. But I think I played it in a week. But I was also I had just like had some surgery or something like that, so it was like the perfect thing to like be on the couch or in bed for a week straight.
Just absorbed in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get lost in.
No, I
It's-
played the PC version, and I actually I enjoyed it. I think I just liked more Ys as well. I think it was just like even if it was longer, I was just like, I just get to play more longer. It was just like a fun experience, and you didn't get that many at the time, so I was just like eating it all up when I was playing it. So it's kind of like in the same vein as Coury, I think, right there. It's just like more Ys is always welcome.
yeah,
Sure.
And that PC version is a good way to play it if you want to.
Yeah.
It doesn't look the greatest. I mean, it's just a direct port of
Straight
that
port,
of the PSP version done by Xseed themselves again. So I do hope that we see some sort of like remaster done by Falcom. Like I know Falcom in Japan, at least, Salsetta just got released on the Switch.
Yes.
So hopefully they'll do the same
Keep
thing
it
with
coming. Yeah.
You get that game key cart for
So,
the Switch
I don't know. Like Xseed's been weird with some of those Switch releases.
Yeah.
Like they didn't bring Cold Steel 1 and 2 on the Switch. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious what they'll do.
Like that feels personal to me. I don't know this, but like it feels personal. It feels like there's
just
some
like-
hurt feelings or something. I don't know.
Though they did release 3 and 4 on the like US standard editions of Cold Steel 3 and 4 through Video Games Plus. So maybe
Yeah.
they're more open if they
Well,
think
3 and
they'll
4
make
was
money.
NIS America.
Yeah, I think it's the
Yeah.
Xseed part of things like that.
It's the
probably,
Xseed
Oh, I see, I
relationship,
see.
I think.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
probably stopped
You're right.
it.
You're right.
So I don't know.
Or sorry, I misspoke. I meant Xseed released standard editions of 1 and 2 through Video Games Plus, not 3 and 4.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't know what I mean. I could pull that
Yeah,
up.
I bought those because I
I bought them
didn't
too,
li-
even though I didn't need to.
I bought them because I'm real big on like uniformity in my
Yes.
collection, and I hate it when it's just like a giant big cardboard box, and then you get like then they have the steel books on there, and I hate it when it doesn't have like the
spine?
title on the
Yeah.
spine.
I had
And,
the PAL
like-
editions for the regular, and I was like, oh, I get to swap them out now.
That's what I did. Is I took the steel book versions, and I kept the outside box and everything like that, and I just like gave the other ones away.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff drives me completely crazy. Just like oversized boxes like
Yeah, I
that.
hide my oversized
Okay.
boxes behind the games. I don't
Yeah.
have them on this because you got to have the I don't want this broken up with some weird cardboard. What are you doing?
I might put a lot of mine like
I
up
try
on
not
the
to do that
top
too.
of my.
Yeah, if you
my-
can display them. I'm so out of space. I have no space to display anything now.
But with those, what I did was I don't know if you guys are going to crucify me for this, but I take everything out of it and then I undo the bottom flaps and I flatten it out. I have a bin that has like keep all my stuff like that, and it's just like they're all like in Ziploc bags inside there.
Yeah.
That's responsible and
worst thing.
respectable. I have no issues with that. I think that's good.
Just don't
Branden
lose them,
stamp of
because I
approval.
Just
did
don't
that
lose
with my
them.
Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Advance boxes. And
Oh,
I don't know
That's
where they
rough. That's rough. That's
I think
hundreds
they
and
were
hundreds of dollars of
I know.
cardboard that's gone.
went. So sad.
I know.
But with Ys, like it's such a remarkable series. Like before we dive into, I think the modern era.
Yeah.
I just want to bring up, like, as a series, like I said, I had never played it my entire life growing up until about 5 or 6 years ago. But it was always like, I was always aware of it, and I don't think it sold particularly well over here, at least not until the more recent years. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think it really did.
I do not think it did.
Yeah.
I think
But
8,
it was,
but we'll talk
yeah,
about
8
soon.
was where it picked up. But like for it to still have such a presence even just in my mind growing up and throughout my entire adulthood, like I feel like that says something about the series. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's something about it that I was somehow aware of, even if I hadn't played the games, where I'm like, this is an important series. And I don't know, of other series like that are not maybe financially successful up to a point, but still have that occupy that much brain space in the RPG community.
Staying power.
Yeah. So it's really remarkable that, and obviously that is a testament to the games, right? Like they are very good. If they weren't very good, we wouldn't be talking about them, or even thinking about them. So, but anyway, the modern era is ushered in by Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Donna, which my wife hates that name.
I don't care for it either. It's just like
it's not. So I was like, oh, you don't like Lacrimosa? We were just talking about this the other day, actually. I was like, you don't like Lacrimosa? I was like, it means like tearful, sad, or something. She's like, no, it's Donna. She's like, that's a weird name to have attached to Lacrimosa. It's like Lacrimosa of Karen or something like what?
Yeah.
Tears of Donna.
Yeah.
Tears of Donna.
I was like, well, it's spelled Dana, so I always thought it was Dana until I played it. But anyway,
Yeah.
that is, I think, Coury, I don't know if you said this before the show or after we started, kind of the introduction of some of the Trails-esque elements to Ys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder too if that's like, if it's specifically like Kondo influence, because I don't know which Ys games he was president of the company for, if he started and then 8 came out or what. Do you have any insight into that? I don't know if you do.
I have no idea. I think it's just based on the success of Trails, which I don't even know how many Trails games were out at that point, but I think that even at that point, their success had already eclipsed what the Ys games had achieved. Mm-hmm. So they thought,
Is this in Japan or like?
Yeah,
overall?
I just think overall, I think because that they did Celceta on the Vita, and they also did Ys 8 on the Vita, and then when they ported it to the like PS4, and they added a whole bunch of stuff in it, including like the flashbacks with Dana. Like that is the game that I think a lot of people fell in love with. But I just think that at the time, like I think they were seeing the success of it, and everybody just has like a lot of talking, and it feels like it also introduced like a lot of, I guess, for better or worse, like anime tropes, like Adol like catches what's her face, like taking a bath.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very early on the game, and it's kind of like, oh, this is not. It doesn't feel like something that would happen to him. You know,
No, yeah.
because
They just
and being
inserted
like,
it.
yeah, I mean, he's like a character that, you know, he's a defined character, but he hasn't really said anything up to that point.
Mhm.
And he always has like a character who like falls for him. But
Right.
he's not accidentally walking
one-sided.
in on him. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
because
like
he
he's all
doesn't
about
really have a personality, right? Like he's just kind of he's a shell for you to embody to a large
Right.
extent. So, you know, I guess you, the player, could fall in love with the character, but that's weird. Like, don't do that. You know.
But I think
but
the
it-
whole idea is that, you know, I don't think he ever like loves any other character. I think except for like maybe like Fina.
He doesn't seem romantic.
or
Yeah,
like that's yeah.
I could
Yeah.
tell.
Like his biggest love is Doji.
The power of
Yeah.
romance.
Yeah.
His bromance.
Yeah.
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 I believe it.
Yes. So like the Trails influence, I guess maybe we should define it just in case people aren't familiar. So like you said, a lot more dialogue, right? Like you're seeing character interactions that are going beyond the kind of more straightforward things you'd see in the past. Character relationship dynamics where you like, you can befriend characters and you get scenes depending on like the level that you get your friendship or relationship with the character to. That's an 8 as well, right? Is that where that started? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So elements like that were popularized in Cold Steel. I feel like it's really like we say the Trails influence, but it's really specifically like the Cold Steel
In
sub-series.
the West, that's when I think that kind of blew up Trails for sure, and probably in Japan too.
In Japan, I know they love Reen over there. They're crazy
They
about
do.
Reen. So they're all about the Cold Steel. That's why they kept it going for so long.
Yeah.
But 5 games, maybe enough. I love Trails. I'm just don't come after me.
We're allowed to make
Reen's-
fun of it.
Reen's fine. Reen's fine. I don't hate Reen. He's fine. But yeah, so like, you know, they're kind of that kind of gets into the silent protagonist thing, and I think maybe we can chat about that a little bit. Like I've always kind of viewed the later East games as like Falcom wanting to have its cake and eat it too, where it's like we want Adal to be the silent protagonist, but we're telling stories now that kind of require there to be a character in that position, in Adal's position.
Yeah.
He's never needed to be, and I say this from a storytelling perspective, like, you know, silent protagonists aren't characters in the sense that they participate in the story. They are vessels for the player to imagine themselves in the story or whatever, right? But the stories that they're telling with the later East games, they kind of need a character to be there. So you are doing a whole lot more dialogue choosing for Adal in story scenes, which was not as much of a thing back in the past. And you kind of get that awkward modern role-playing game situation, which is really present in a game like Dragon Quest XI, where everybody's talking and then the main character, you know, you choose a dialogue option and it's just silent.
And
And then everybody responds.
yeah. Yeah. Or like,
Or it says some random little line that's like vaguely related to what,
they just smile and nod.
and that, and the conversation carries on as if as if he said that. So it's like, you know, in the effort to keep the character silent is kind of running up against the desire to have a more complex story,
right?
And they are walking that line between both, and they are not falling down on either side. So, you know, I think the traditionalist mindset would be like, well, he's always been silent, let's keep it silent. Fine. And honestly, as somebody who dislikes silent protagonists personally, I would be happier if he was just a silent protagonist than the current method of having it kind of be a little bit of both. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I wish that they would choose the side I don't prefer. I prefer that over this kind of middle of the road
in
between thing.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about it?
I would be okay if he said something. I just don't want to hear his voice, because I think that the person that they use for the voice actor they use for him is not very good.
Yeah.
Not what you imagined he would sound like, maybe.
Yeah.
It's Bryce. Is it Bryce Papenbrook in English? He does have a very.
If you turn it to Japanese, would you be okay with it?
I don't know
heard
who
the
his actor
Japanese
is in
one.
Japan.
Perhaps I should give that a shot.
Yeah.
But I wish that you could only have, because I like everybody else's voice. I especially like
Sure.
Dogi's voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he feels very
and-
appropriate for that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if I could only turn Adol's voice to that, I would be
Yeah, just make Adol Japanese. Everybody understands him, but
yeah.
There's got to be some mod
funny.
for that, right?
yeah, maybe.
One thing I'd like,
he kind of has that.
I wonder what's in this chest. It's just it drives me crazy, especially in 10.
It's,
And the funny thing is, like, Bryce Papenbrook, he's a good actor. Like, he could not do that voice and still play Adol and not do
Someone
that, like,
directed him to
cartoon.
do that, I think.
Yeah, he was told to do that.
Because
It's like,
I want him to have a I understand that he's like a wide-eyed adventurer, and
Yeah.
he's excited about everything. But I think by a certain point, like I forgive my language, but he's seen enough shit at this point to be like I've killed enough gods,
right.
I don't need to be like, what's going to be in this chest? Just like be like so excited. And I
he's not a
understand.
child anymore, right? He's not a
Well, in
child.
10, he was
In
kind of
10.
almost a child.
Yeah.
Well, he's 19 or whatever. And
Yeah. So I guess they are playing into that a little bit, But
Wide-eyed
still,
apple.
like, listen, if you went to the top of this tower and like went to this floating island and then helped bring it back into the ground, I don't know if it's still have seen enough to be like, I'm going to play it cool.
Yeah.
Totally feel you there.
But
How do you guys feel about the localization for 8 specifically? Because they kind of flubbed that at the beginning. And
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
if that was a detriment to the series, like how it's...
you're talking about
Yeah.
the what is it, the big hole? That's what they call it.
Mesozoic big hole or whatever.
Yeah. So to be completely clear, I have only played that original translation. I've never played it through using.
I played... Okay. That's so funny.
So
I played when they fixed it.
yeah,
I mean, I would love to replay it. I should replay it on the PS5 version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PS5
so I
version's good.
can do it. But what's nice, if you get that PS4 version and you don't update it, you can play that.
you can
original.
still see the
Yeah,
original.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I'm wondering, they must have farmed it out. I'm pretty sure they did. Like, they farmed it out because
it feels like
when
AI, but they didn't have.
they
the
did. Yeah, they didn't probably have access to that back then. But like, yeah, it does feel like just I don't know. Like they forgot to put the edited text in or something. Like this is the rough. Just like get the words down on the page and then we'll pretty it up. And they forgot to
Maybe
pretty
they
it up. and
crammed
just threw
the
it in.
deadline or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. But my buddy of mine is the guy that led the localization effort to re-localize 8 at NIS America, and
Really?
he said, he's like, yeah, it was awful, and like the deadline was terrible to get everything in and done. So it was a big undertaking, but it's at the same time like it was good. Like obviously it's better if it didn't happen, but. The fact that they took it seriously and fixed it, because like that would have killed. I think that would have killed. Yeah, potentially could have killed the series in America, right?
I think so because 8's the poster child for ease. I think right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you want the best spacey one that people want to maybe play first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to find the screenshot that I took of the first time I played through that. And, like sometimes you get a little bit of personality in there. And I wish that I could find it. I'll have to share it with you afterwards. But it's just like this hilarious. Is this it? No, that's not it. Where it's like, I can't remember his name. Like the big guy that carries the anchor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to explore. He's like, where they're like, where should we go? And he's like, I'm ready to go. Like, got up this morning, had a great breakfast, took a shit. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm like, what? Like, that was in the like that original version, and it's still there in the translated version.
I guess
And
he
it's just
said
like,
that.
yeah. Thanks for. It's very funny. It's
It's one of those lines. It's like Final Fantasy IV, the original translation had Tella call Edward a spoony bard.
Right.
And like, that's goofy, but everybody loved it so much that in every subsequent retranslation, they've left that line in. 'Cause it's like, that's iconic.
Yes, it's iconic. You cannot change it.
So I just took a healthy shit is the equivalent in East of you spoony bard.
But yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things about 8. I think that it's fun, and it also introduces like a I guess it was in Salsetta and 7, but the ability to like parry attacks.
Yeah.
And then I think 8 also adds in like the ability to dodge like the last second, and it slows everything down. That's like one of my favorite gameplay mechanics of all time. I will play any game like Bayonetta, like you dodge at a certain time, and then everything slows down around you.
I do love that.
Yeah, you get that like Matrix. You know, I love that. That's kind of why I had a hard time adjusting to East 10, actually, because East 10 is much, much more focused on blocking in a way that I hadn't been done before. We're kind of skipping East 9, but we can come back to it. But yeah, East 10 takes basically the gameplay of the previous 3 or 2 entries, but changes the focus more to blocking and, you know, counterattacking and things like that. How did you feel about that? All of you, because you've all played East 10, right?
Yeah, it was a weird adjustment.
Yeah.
And there was more focus too, I think, on combination attacks in a way, which was cool. It's very flashy.
Yeah.
But I think I did prefer 8 gameplay wise.
Yeah, I'm more of a dodge person in general. Like even no matter what game I play, I always
I'm a dodgy
tend to
boy.
find myself, focusing more on the dodge button rather than block. Like I just, it's
Same.
never that.
It's more
much fun
intuitive
to me. Yeah, exactly.
I think that I got into the blocking a little bit more than I anticipated, because I think this was right after I'd spent an obscene amount of time playing, like platinuming Stellar Blade, which is like all about parrying and blocking. So it was an easier transition for me. I just like not having to worry about buying equipment for more than 2 characters.
Right.
That's true.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. How'd you guys feel about the ship mechanics in 10? So in 10, if you're not aware, you have a ship and you can upgrade it, and there are naval battles. So you actually have these sequences where you are fighting as a ship against other ships and stuff. I personally I hate that stuff normally. Like everybody goes off about how they love Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I did not care for that game. Like I was like, I don't want to be a pirate. I don't want to shoot from a ship. But I actually really personally enjoyed the ship combat in East 10. I feel like they made it feel similar. Like it obviously is very different than the on foot combat, but like it was fun in a similar way for me.
Yeah, it's fast moving.
Yeah.
And also about halfway through the game, you're already obscenely powerful that no ship battles are provide any real challenge.
Yeah, you're not getting brick walled by any.
Mow them off.
Exactly.
What I like too is it's like I tend to not like it when you have like car scenes in some RPGs that have really wonky, driving and steering mechanics. But the ship one was a lot more intuitive, I think, to navigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
They
nice
actually
for them
put effort.
to do something different, to
Yeah.
connect the world instead of just having zones in that way. It's just that I wish that the islands were a little bit more different.
More interesting.
Yeah. And I understand that's their like commitment to place, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, these are the Nordic islands. They're going to look like that. And cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt similarly. It was like, it would be more fun to explore if, I don't want like a basic, like, oh, let's have an ice island. Like, I don't want it to be that, but you know what I mean? Like mix it up in some other way. But
There are the tropical kind of.
it's very like, like maybe Proud Nordics, which is the re-release, like possible money grab. We'll see. Re-release of East 10 that's coming out soon-ish in
on
Japan.
Switch 2 exclusive
Oh, is it Switch 2 exclusive?
right now?
Yeah, for now, for
You only get it
now.
on the Switch too.
Well, I'm sure it'll come out on other things too, but hopefully, maybe they'll add some more variety.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
hope
I haven't
so.
really been following what this new version is adding.
I don't know if they've disclosed it yet fully, but I have also not looked extensively into it.
I'm pretty sure that they had said there would be like new islands, new like side quests and stuff.
So it's going to be like the 8 upgrade that they did on the PS4, you think? Or even more content? Because that was technically not like paid additional.
Yeah,
Right. It has to be more if they're
it has to be if
charging.
they're going to make a
And they're going
It's a
to
whole,
call
like,
it something
new
else.
edition.
They're calling it Proud Nordics.
exactly.
Right. You got to be proud of it. If they're not proud of it, then
I don't know.
you know.
Honestly,
I don't
what
know
I
when we'll
want,
get
if it does come out for other systems, I would hope that your previous save file is compatible, so that I can I don't have to start over. I don't like that's what I don't really
Jump
want
into
to
the
do.
new
Atlas thing.
I just want to be able to even like in the US, like even ends up being like DLC on the PS5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be okay. I would just go and explore because I don't want to do the whole thing again because it's a fairly lengthy game as it is.
Yeah.
And it's
Great.
not that old. Like I may want to revisit it someday, but not right now.
Yeah, because that just came out this last year. So like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready to replay that.
Which is kind of why, like, that's what kind of why I said cash grab. It feels a little cynical to put out
Yeah.
a re-release.
They're following
of
the
a game
Atlas
that's-
model right now, which I'm not a fan of.
I'm not a big fan of that. I know it's successful for them, but
I don't know if
Because
it's
they
the
just
fan
like release
base.
like an updated version, like a
Yeah, like the
less
Royal
than a year.
version for Persona 5. They do the same thing
Right.
with SMT Vengeance and Reload DLC.
Yeah. This was even
They
fast.
hold back content and then release it later, which I'm not a fan of that practice.
And this was even faster with this one because like it just came out. Like 10
Well-
came out, and then shortly like after they were
it had
just
been
like,
out
"All
in
right,
Japan longer.
And it was out in Japan
That's
longer.
true.
So I think that was the justification I had thrown back at me when I complained about it. Was like, well, it's been out in Japan for a year. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Still.
just a little, slap in the face because it just released in North America. Then they're like, oh, actually, there's going to be an approved version of this at some point. Like, we just bought this.
I know.
great, fantastic.
So 9.
9. Let's talk
So
about 9. Yeah,
9 is like the superhero game.
9 is the superhero game.
This is true.
Very
Which
different.
I had a lot of fun. So basically, 9 takes place for the most part in a large city. It's a very different setting than every other East game. So you are in like an urban environment the whole time with some like you get some like side missions and stuff that take place sort of outside, but never straying too far. And your party members, you each have like a unique special superpower ability. And yeah, it's like a lot of traversal based stuff, jumping around, running up walls and stuff. Like I had a lot of fun with that personally. And I kind of liked
Or go
I kind
ahead.
of like the darker twist on the story, even if it was kind of like, I don't know, Evanescence, Amy Lee, like kind of, like a little bit of
like almost like gothic.
yeah. East is going through its goth
Pretty
phase.
gothic.
And it's also technically the furthest along in the timeline of all the games, which I think is interesting.
So,
like Adolf is like he's like
reaches his-
24 or something.
24, yeah.
Before.
So that's
about
kind of
right
late for a
his
goth
go-
phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah.
He got
He kind of got forced into that goth phase. He didn't ask for it.
I mean, he ended up in the workforce and realized how life sucks. He's living through his goth phase at that point.
But honestly, East 9 had, for me, the most intriguing story, and like the way they told the story was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because he gets arrested at the beginning of the game. This isn't spoilers, it's at the very beginning. He gets arrested at this city of Balduc. Is it Balduc?
Balduc
Sounds-
or
Balduc,
Balduc
something like that.
prison. Yeah.
So he's put in prison, and he escapes and becomes this. He gets some kind of superpowers from this lady, and so you're playing as this. He's an escaped convict, and he's putting together a team, and they're trying to fix the problems in the city. But then you also have these sequences where Adol's still in prison.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on? Like this, like it feels very, I don't want to say
a very good mystery.
It's a very good, it's a really interesting setup for a mystery. And I actually was fairly impressed with how they tied it all together and pulled it off in the end. So I don't want to say any more about that, obviously, in case people haven't played it. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool, way to evolve the storytelling in the series.
I feel like it got the short of the stick though, because I think everyone was comparing it to 8 and like 9's not as good.
It's a very the setting alone, I think, going from like the beautiful tropical island with this story that spans millions of years, and it's like, okay, now you're in the city and you are just here.
You're fine there.
Yeah.
What I understand though is that 9 was developed when they were making a new engine for it, so it was kind of like their test bed for that. So I guess because 9 was what it was, allowed 10 to be what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good mystery, and it's something I like about all of the Ys games, and it becomes very apparent in the modern era, is that everybody who joins you, like they have a name and they all like have a story, and like building that relationship with them and learning more about them, getting them gifts or something like that. It's I don't know, it just, because by the time 9 rolls around, like people know about him, like he's kind of renowned throughout the entire area, and that's actually one of my favorite things about the series, is that he's not just going and doing this stuff. Like people know about him, like they know
he has a reputation.
He reminds me a lot of like Coury in the Yakuza games, where people like oh, like it's Coury, we don't want to like mess with him or whatever. Like they know the history, and that's very cool that you kind of see that in 9, especially being the most recent one, like chronologically in the timeline, is that when he gets arrested, they're like, oh, you have like all this stuff has happened to you. Like, why does this stuff keep on happening around you?
Why do ships keep sinking when you're on them? What's
Are you
exactly? And you can kind of see like a big government, like the Roman, like the Rom or whatever, like the in-game version of the Roman Empire, chasing after them. And
being like, that you are at the very least a person of interest in a lot of really weird things that have been happening around the world recently.
And so what would you guys like to see in a future Ys setting?
Oh, I can answer this very, very easily.
Go.
My number one thing, since each game is like a chapter of his life, or like a year in his life, there's nothing more than I want than an old man Adol game.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I want
same.
I think that he died, like it's like on the record that he dies like in his 50s or something like that, but I want something that's when he's like my age. I want him like in his like late 40s, right?
Yeah.
Like I think
by
that
anime
would be very,
standards, that's old man.
By anime standards,
he can have a big gray beard, and like maybe his red hair like has some white highlights in it. Like I think that would be just so interesting, and because what it really feels like, especially with 10 going back to like taking place between 2 and 4, because 3 is after 4, is that they are doing whatever they can to ensure that he doesn't grow up. Like we'll just keep on going back and filling in these gaps where he doesn't have to grow up, and we can make him young forever. Young look. Yeah, I mean, because that's like in like the Trail series, like isn't most of the characters are like perpetually young, I think, or like all the
MCs are the same age as each other. So the way it works in Trails is Estelle's 16
first game
in Sky, and then she's 18 in 0, but Lloyd is 18, and then the only exception is Cold Steel and the Crossbell games are running in parallel for a while. But yeah, they're keeping them young. They're aging them up, but they're still very young in relation to us, for example.
And the most recent protagonist, Van, he starts out as 24. But there are some party members that are older, like
you do
Van's
get an old
mentor.
Old dude. I do like that.
I think
how that's going.
It would be so cool just to see like Doga and Adol like as old guys, just seeing what they get into. where like they've seen so much stuff that nothing is surprising to them at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, they could do like a Xenoblade like Future Redeemed kind of thing where we could maybe see their children, you know?
Yeah,
They want someone
yeah.
young.
That's true.
It seems like there's a thing in Japan, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like there's like a real youth focused, like, I don't know, like in storytelling, it's all about youth.
High schoolers.
And that's fine. But yeah, like it's, you know, I also enjoy seeing characters my age in games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I just
It
think
just
it'd be
makes
so
for good
cool.
storytelling. It
Yeah.
just makes, like we've seen enough of him young. Like it would be great to see like to him take all that knowledge or all that experience and see how does that like shape him as like a 40-some-year-old
Yeah.
and the grittiness that come with that.
Because something I was thinking about when we were talking about Adol as like a silent protagonist, like I'd written this down because in a lot of ways, like Adol is like this perpetually good person. He's almost like Superman in a way, where he is just he's always wants to help out and he always wants to do the right thing. Sometimes he might screw up and like not do the right thing, but he's always there
Well-meaning.
Well-meaning.
Yeah.
And I think that's nice. I would like to see that reflected after, 30 years of traveling
Everything he's
around
gone
doing
through.
this. Yeah. That's like that's my dream for the series. And I don't think it'll ever happen.
Like,
But-
would he get pessimistic or something when he's
Yeah.
really old?
Yeah.
You know, and
Or would he settle
Still
down
be
and
pure.
get pulled into like one ultimate, like final thing,
Exactly.
I find the end of Adol's story so interesting in that similar kind of mystery sense where it's like he disappears, right? Like he was an adventurer up until however old he was in his 50s, and he went to the North Pole and disappeared, and there was like no further record of him. So it's like maybe he died, and that's all there is to it. But it's like I feel
maybe
like they
he
keep,
went to space.
maybe he went to
Abducted by
space.
aliens.
Maybe, yeah. It's so there's so much that they could do, and it's like I don't know if they're saving that for like a possible end of the series or something. But
I
like,
find it interesting they led with that,
yeah.
They shared those details already.
Or early on, like it's like
So
this
they
is
have
what
some end game,
ultimately,
right?
Yeah, this is what ultimately happens
So
to Adol is he disappears at the North Pole. So yeah.
I just find it interesting how much of a prolific writer Adol is. Like
yeah,
So many records.
he is like probably the biggest writer in all of video games.
yeah.
Well,
he's got-
if that stuff was happening to you,
Yeah.
like every year of your life this is what's happening. You're
Just-
killing a god every year.
Yeah, every year.
I have enough information or stuff to write a book and sell
Yeah.
a million copies.
yeah.
Here's my autobiography.
That must be how he finances his adventuring. Like he's an author. He's a travel writer.
He's a
But we do know that he's on
Blogger.
this collision course at some point with like with the Roman Empire.
yeah.
So I think that'll be kind of neat, and we'll see. One thing I do like, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm totally dominating this conversation.
No,
hit it.
no.
Go.
No, we're loving this.
I love it.
I love that you see characters like from other games like pop up again in future games.
Yeah.
So
Like the
it's-
governor of Salsetta shows up in East 8, I think, right?
Yeah, and it's just it's very neat to see that stuff happen. It just it really helps the entire world feel
They're
that much more.
Yeah.
interconnected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a real place, right?
Yeah.
And these people know of each other, and
Kind of
And
nods
they-
to how they do this in Trails too.
right,
A lot of
right.
They kind of,
Weird
they
characters.
even kind of tie in some of that early story lore in E6. E6 is like the Avengers Endgame of the E series, where they're bringing in all these, references from the lore and origins and all that stuff. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
And then characters that are, they don't join you. You just kind of run into them, and then whatever is like in 6, like there's that one. Was it like Geis or whatever is like kind of a bad guy in 6, and then he joins you. And
He's a party member in 7, right?
in 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when stuff like that happens. And that's one of my favorite things about the Yakuza games or Like a Dragon games is when you see these characters or these locations pop up again.
Yeah, Falcom and
All the
RGG is
callbacks,
very
so cool.
similar in how they like tackle like game development and their like
Yeah.
structure of storytelling.
Yeah. Where they're never breaking the
Other-
bank on anything.
No,
too.
exactly.
They can release annual releases.
They
Yeah.
have
Yep.
like the development is very like agile, slim. It's they get these games out, but they're also, the storytelling is so like, I don't know, inclusive of everything they've done up until that point.
Yeah.
They really pull from everything they've, like, all the
I
influences.
really
that
want to
they've-
see, both Falcom and RGG. Like, what are their records of, like, how do they keep track of everything? Like, what's their system?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do they have like in-house historians or whatever, or like timeline
Fact
stuff?
checkers. Like,
Like,
actually, that's
series Bible, and next time
Con-
next time I stalk the president of Falcom, I'll ask him.
He saw him in Japan.
I stalked
walking
Kondo
around.
through the streets of Taka.
And that's what's kind of cool. It's like Falcom is a fairly small developer. They've always been fairly
Yes.
small.
Yeah.
And they're
Yes.
like family owned or something like that. Like, it's just
Remarkable
It's-
what they've been able to accomplish over the years.
totally.
Yeah. For
I
how long
wonder
they-
if they're. Oh, go ahead, Doll.
No, just like for how long they've been around, and then
Yeah.
also like all the talent that has come from Falcom.
Yeah.
Like if you look
Yeah.
at like all these amazing developers or directors across the gaming industry, especially from Japan, they've all had a stint at Falcom at some point. in their
We
early
mentioned
years.
Yuzo Koshiro. Who's I'm blanking on his name, the director of Your Name.
What is his name?
I am so bad with remember his name.
Name
That-
director.
Your Name is directed by.
Makoto Shinkai. Makoto Shinkai.
Yeah, he did a stint at Falcom as well. Like, there's been some just giant people that have come out of that
Didn't
company.
he reference like the whole of something?
Yeah,
As
yeah. In Your Name,
Exactly.
the creator is, I think, something
Yeah.
from. Was it from East?
he's, I think it's from his,
Yeah.
something like that.
The one thing I think about is that the people like the main two directors from Quintet or from Falcom also.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Miyazaki, Hashimoto, and Hashimoto, or who obviously did like the Gaia series, like the Ancient Gaia and Terranigma and stuff.
Terranigma. Yep. Yeah, it's a really solid company, great series, and
Still going.
they're still going.
Yeah, I don't mind just getting a new entry, every other year or so. It's just and it's a series that if a new game comes out, it's like absolutely a day one start for me.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I'm going to get this game and I will plan around it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's your day one
So.
dollars.
Yeah.
Day one dollar.
Day $1.
It's a running joke here.
Oh, okay. What is it about? Is he knows
It's
what
just
he's
when
got.
Dollah's going to get a game
knows.
day one. It's a day $1.
That's
Okay.
it's become a thing now that like if I'm gonna
So
get
now,
said
so
it
now
too
we
many
also
times
have day
when we were
$1,
reacting.
which doesn't make as much sense, but it's fun.
we adopted it.
Yeah.
So is that just like, is it just like buying a game on day one, or is it buying
Yes,
it and
it's
starting?
just
Buying
like-
and playing it.
buying
Okay.
and playing
We
it,
are
yes.
in from the beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
because I
Weird.
bought
East-
bought plenty of
East and
games day one
Trails
and have
are
not
like
played them.
the two series for me that are without question. I'm there
Day
from
ones.
day one. I got to be
Yeah.
And you'll plan in advance.
in. I will plan my life around it as much as I
Finish
can.
everything up ahead of time, and so you know.
Blocked out this time. Don't bother me playing this game. I'm in my 40s. Leave me alone. I'm going to play video games. Anyway, thank you, Coury, so much for coming on. I feel like this was a really good talk. I had a lot of
Yeah.
fun. You guys
I
have
love
fun?
fun.
Fun
that.
gushing about
Oh,
games,
yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I love talking about it. I don't get a lot of chances to do this, but also, I think I have a several page script. Like years ago, I wanted to do like an Ease series, like primer video.
Oh.
And I wrote all this stuff and I'm like, man, this is just, it's so much material. I don't even know where to begin. It became quickly overwhelming, but that's
Yeah.
something that I had like wanted to do for years because, I am so passionate about the series.
Yeah. And we can see that.
We're very
Yeah.
happy to have you and
Yeah.
share all your knowledge because you were there from the beginning. So it's really cool to hear from that perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll-
Well, why don't you tell us again, or real quick, where we can, where the listeners, the viewers can find your content.
Yeah. So you can check out My Life in Gaming on YouTube. sometimes we release a lot of stuff. Sometimes we have months in between everything. And on the side, I occasionally do a podcast with Chris from the channel Classic Gaming Quarterly called Here's My Question for You. It's a podcast about nothing. We just talk about whatever we feel like, whatever just comes up in the conversation. And that's it. You can find me in my backyard replacing the hose spigot.
And muggy heat.
Yes.
In the awful Midwestern heat. Yeah.
But don't actually find him in his backyard, guys. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't be like me. Don't stalk people that you admire on the internet. Don't do that. Not advisable. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for listening, for again, the members who support the channel. We really, really appreciate you. And I guess if you are a pursuer level member, stick around for the after show. Otherwise, we'll see you next week with another new episode.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, all.
Bye.